remember that when I was a kid, that the notion of military fitness being a kind of a model, I think there was a Canadian or Australian, guy who was all about jumping jacks and things like that. And so we get that, but we don't think of the military as being a place for psychological fitness. You started as a urologist, and then you pivoted to the psychological component. Can you describe a little bit of the psychology of a new recruit? So, take an average recruit. I know you talk to hundreds, if not thousands, if not more, of them. What do you say? How do you teach a 17, 18, I guess would they be older, the 18, 19-year-old, to prepare themselves to turn an injury into a growth experience?
Well, we don't start there. We start with how to communicate better and how to make better decisions and how to look at what happens realistically instead of catastrophically. Mm-hmm. And it can be something as simple as one thing every recruit has to do successfully before they can graduate is go through the gas chamber. Mm. And in every class, there's some number of people who just are paralyzed into inactivity. And it used to be, before we had this kind of training, that the drill sergeant would basically just scream at the guy until he either peed in his pants and went home, or went into the thing. We have learned a better technique that gets more people through, and which is, so tell us why you are afraid to go in. And they will list, I think I'm going to die, my mask won't go on, it'll be locked, And so then we say, okay, well, first of all, let's look at the evidence. There's no lock on the door. You can't get locked in. You have used the last 12 times you had to put your gas mask on. You did it in the right number of seconds. And lastly, the gas we're using is not, it's unpleasant, it'll make your eyes sting, but it won't kill you. And so applying evidence to unreasoned fears is much more effective than just screaming at somebody.
Can we drill down a little bit more on that example? So there's two people you need to teach here. There's the recruit, and then there's the drill sergeant, for lack of it. So I've seen the movies, and then the drill sergeants, the ones in the movies, are basically going to shout at you. Is there a situation where A, you've taught them not to shout, and B, that this person can ask for this special, the recruit can ask for this special treatment in a way that isn't personally embarrassing and humiliating?
No, but what we do have now is essentially every drill sergeant goes through the Master Resilience Training Program after graduating from drill sergeant school, because everybody recognizes that the old thing you saw in the movies was really not very effective.
And so they're pulled aside in some private place where they can have a...
No, often people are perfectly willing to have this conversation in front of their platoon. They're obviously unwilling to go through while you're at the top of the 40-foot tower and you're afraid to let go and come down.
And there's no shouting?
Well, there's no screaming. You might have to shout so they can hear you.
I see.
There's no berating, I think, is perhaps a better way.
Okay, a kindler, gentler.
It is a little kinder and gentler, but it's more effective.